to thank all the close family members that came, and I want to thank all the friends and family listening to this recording. I know that my father would like a much larger crowd, but due to the global situation, we were forced to this small ceremony. However, we do plan to have a memorial at a later date to celebrate the life and legacy of my father when this whole thing's over. A memorial and celebration of life that my father deserves. You know, usually my dad would be in this position right now, making a beautiful speech that captivates a crowd. But I'll try to make the speech as eloquent as his speeches used to be. But I highly doubt it. But I'll give it a shot. Hope the fruit didn't fall that far from the tree. So my dad, he was born on Christmas Day, 1950 in Santa Ana, California. His parents, Fred and Kenland Lau, where he adopted a tireless work ethic, resilience, and love for family. He was basically raised in the grocery store business, along with his brothers, my uncles, Lou, Guy, and Walt, which he loves very much, and I know that they do too. And that love has been reciprocated from Uncle Walt and Uncle Guy calling me every day to check on me, my mom and I, bringing us food from the store, and reminding of things that I might have forgotten when I was going through this whole terrible situation, to Uncle Luke calling in and helping sort out this whole funeral. I will not forget the kindness that has been bestowed upon my mom and myself, and I appreciate from the bottom of my heart. Along with their family members being helpful in our time of need. From Auntie Susan, talking to my mom and bringing food on Chinese New Year, to Philip talking me over the phone and making a beautiful speech. Sandra Carl sending cards of condolences, while also Carl giving medical advice when my father was in the hospital. Cindy bringing meals from restaurants. Erwin putting extended hours at the store. And Christine messaging me how I'm doing, encouraging me to keep my head up. All these things have been instrumental in the healing process for my mom and myself, and we greatly appreciate it. The pain is shared, which shows how close-knit the Lau family is. My dad and uncles have been through so much with the business, which gave them the opportunity to become closer to one another. Through triumphs and tragedies, they have stayed together and relied on each other for strength. My father often summarizes their bond like a bundle of sticks. If you have one stick, it is really easy to break, but if you have a bundle of sticks together, it is much harder. Through those experiences, my dad gained perseverance, a tenacious work ethic, a sense of fearlessness which he has passed down to me. For example, he would tell me the story of how his mother, my grandmother, was killed in a robbery attempt at the store along with him being shot, which led them to be partially disabled. The paramedics didn't think that he was going to make it that night, but thankfully, through the will of God, he not only managed to survive, but he continued to work at the exact same store which he got injured at for over 40 years after the fact. The toughness that my father displayed has inspired me to never give up, never give in, and always move forward. He also taught me about love, loyalty, and the importance of family. In 1988, my father met the love of his life, which is my mother, Kenland Lau, or you might know her as Catherine. They fell in love instantly and married only a year later in 1989. My mother's side of the family, like many people who he had the privilege to meet, they embraced him immediately. He was so beloved by Gong Gong and Po Po, or my maternal grandparents, and my mom would even joke and say that they might love him more than her. One thing that my mom and grandparents were always grateful with is that my father helped bring my grandparents to America. Without my father's help, my grandparents would never experience living in the great country of America. My mother would feel more lonely as her parents are away. And I would never really experience the love of my grandparents who took care of me when I was a little kid. He always made anyone on my mother's side of the family seem at home and welcome when they come to visit. From showing them around Southern California to taking them out to eat, showing off his liquor and wine collection, paying for a quick bus vacation to show them around the U.S. and all in between. They truly love my father, and like on my father's side of the family, the love has been reciprocated to my mom and I. My yeye, his father, my grandpa, went over and made him shake the man's hand and told him that these are the people that put food on our table and that they, like everyone on this earth, should be treated with respect. My father took that lesson from his father and as a result showed respect to everyone that came into contact with him. The outpouring of support that has been bestowed upon my family and I, who knew my dad, has been really overwhelming. From stories of how he helped them go through a tough time, to supporting them getting an education, which he has seen firsthand of how it has improved everybody's lives, to simply being a part of their lives. They considered him to be family, which speaks volumes to how much he has impacted them. Which reminded me of a saying and a quote that my dad will always tell me from Henry Ford, that the most important skill over any other skill is the skill of getting along with people. That quote resonated with me, and I try to instill that in my life every day. As a consequence of that lesson, I've gained amazing friends that not only are great companions, but truly care for me. Nothing more evident in this situation that we're in right now. They have talked to me for hours on end, stopped by the house to give my family flowers, gifts, food, wrote letters to the house, along with other forms of comfort, offered help, encouraged me to keep my head up, and everything in between. On a good day, I might only possess half the charisma and presence that my father had. But the lesson of getting along with people really resonated with me. And through the help of good friends, it has really facilitated the healing process in such a grim time. He often tells me to make as many friends as possible, because in this world, you already have too many enemies who dislike you just because of who you are, whether it's how you look, talk, act, your beliefs, etc. So I would like to thank you for the ones who helped me. You know who you are. Now I'll talk about some of the stuff that he has done for me. I say some because we'll literally be here forever if I list everything. But my father literally has done everything for me, from sending me to amazing schools like Redlands, Chapman, and now Long Beach, where I'm currently working on my MBA, and so happens to be his alma mater, where he obtained a bachelor's and a master's in political science. To watching track meets in high school, where I felt obligated to win whenever he's watching. To bragging about me to friends and family, even though I get embarrassed at times. To introducing me to people that he knows personally, who I have met, who he had just met, that has helped me throughout the years. To simply making my friends feel welcome by talking to them whenever they would come over to the house and everything. He has given me so much advice through life, verbally and physically. And those life lessons are priceless and will last a lifetime.
I would drop whatever I was doing and rush to the garage and greet him and have a long conversation with him at the dinner table. He's the one person I can literally say anything to and ask for advice in any situation. I'll miss that sense of humor that I adopted, which most of the time annoys my mom. I would tell him a joke that I heard or show him a funny video every single day. The sight of him laughing is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. My mom would often say that if my dad was around the same age as me, that we would be best friends. I cannot deny that. The bond that I have with my father has been so strong, as many of you here know. I wish I had more time with my father, but the quality of time that we had together is priceless. Although my father is gone, he'll never be forgotten. I will instill the same life lessons and tell stories about my father to my children, like what he has told to me about my grandparents, so his legacy will live on forever. I will also guarantee to fulfill the promises that I told my father when he was in the hospital, to take care of mom and family, finish up my education as well as further my education, be a good man, continue to make him proud, and be happy so that he can live vicariously through me as he looks down on me. I wish one day I could be half the man that my father was. I know that my father doesn't want us to be sad in this moment, so I will finish up with a quote from Richard Nixon, who happened to be alumni at Whittier College, where my dad attended for a couple of semesters before transferring to Long Beach State. So the quote goes, "Greatness comes not when things go always good for you, but greatness comes when you're really tested, when you take some knocks, disappointments, when sadness comes. Because only in the deepest valley can we really know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain." He will want us to be great. He will want us to know that we'll be okay. Because one day our sadness and tears will turn into gratitude and smiles. As we remember the good times that we had with him, we truly realize how blessed we were. So it's been an honor to speak to all you, either physically or virtually, but it has been an even greater honor to be a son of Kenland Lau.